relationship. Lately, the way he's on my mind, I swear it's crazy. I mean, we fuss and fight, but that's my baby. And I don't care what they say, I know sometimes he's away. He got a lot on his plate, and I hate when he's gone. I'm alone, laying here watching.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Mikiyah, and I'm gonna be telling you guys about my 16/17 and pregnant story. I am currently 34 weeks pregnant. Yeah. So this is gonna be also a get ready with me, just because it's morning time. I'm up. I'm probably not gonna go to sleep no time soon, so I might as well, you know, get all glammed up. Sorry, I had to cut the video because someone was calling me. Anyways, so I'm gonna be getting ready, and I'm also gonna be telling you guys about how I found out, how I told my mom, how I told my son's dad. Oh yeah, I'm having a boy. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Like, I wouldn't say like my story is similar to other girls, because mine wasn't as such like a positive like reaction. Like, I see all these other, like, I've been watching other girls' videos, and they're saying like how their mom was like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Like, my mom was pissed. So I mean, she was mad, but she was still supportive, and she was still telling me like everything was gonna be fine. So let's get into the story, and let's get into how I found out while I start my makeup. But I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera. Okay, so I'm back after like 20 minutes because I cannot concentrate. I can't talk and do my eyebrows at the same time, or I'll be redoing them for like the past hour. But okay, let's get into the story. So I was 16. My son's dad was living with us at the time because of like his own personal situation that I won't get into because it's not my business to share. And you know, like, we were having sex, we were safe most of the time. Like, there were times where like I would have scares and everything, but he smoked a lot, so I never really thought like, oh, I'm finna get pregnant. Like, and then after like I had those scares, I got way more cautious with what I was doing, obviously. So this was in March because I was 16 still. So I basically conceived the week before I turned 17. Well, according to my doctor, which is really crazy because I basically got pregnant at 17. Whatever. So that had happened. Like, we were having sex and everything, and then he had got admitted into the hospital because he had went like into surgery and everything. I don't want to put his business out there because, you know, it's his business. So he was in the hospital, and the whole time like that I was like, I would go up there like every day and see him. I didn't know I was pregnant. And I kept thinking to myself, like, why don't I like I felt so nauseous, but not to the point where I was throwing up. So I just felt like sick. And I always put moisturizer on. So the whole time, this was in April, he didn't get out the hospital until like a week before his birthday, which is in like not early April, but not like mid-April kind of. And that was around the time that I had took the test, because I just felt off. Like, my period was only like 1 day late, and I've missed periods before, like not missed periods, like full periods, 4 days late, but it would come. So I was just like, maybe I'm like stressing because he's in the hospital and I'm worried about him. Like, you know, I was just thinking, like, no thought of pregnancy was in my head. So when I had took the test, I had got a Rite Aid one, and it didn't really look positive. Like, it looked like a really faint line, like a shadow or something, or like a line was fading. So I was gonna wait a little longer, and then that's when my mom did the whole, why haven't you sent me to the store to get you tampons thing? Because usually when she goes grocery shopping, I'll tell her to grab me some. And the whole time I forgot, like, I didn't think like, oh, tell your mom to get you tampons. Like, I was not thinking about it. I was like, I'm not bleeding, so. And I wasn't thinking about it. And she had suspicions, so she made me go to freaking Rite Aid right by my house and get a test, and she made me take it in her bathroom. And she made my cousin go in the bathroom with me. And I was just like, I felt so betrayed. I was just like, she's gonna make me pee in front of my little cousin. And my cousin was like, it's okay, Kaya, you don't have to take it. And I was just like, I was crying. I was sitting there crying because I didn't know, like, it was still like the same day, but I didn't know if like the test was gonna change, because I do hear that like if you take tests in the morning, your urine is like stronger. So I was just really nervous. I was really scared. I was like, bro, like, what if this comes out positive for my mom, like, and it didn't come out positive for me? Like, I was just like panicking. So I had ended up taking the test, and it was the same. Like, it looked faded, like it wasn't there. And she kept saying, oh, it looks like it's a positive, but according to the box it could be a negative. So she was like, well, we'll wait a little longer. And I was like, okay. So we forgot about the whole thing, like, because I started bleeding. Like, it was like light blood, but it was still blood. So I was like, okay, mom, I got my period. And she was like, okay, good, like, you know, like. And that was closer towards summertime, so I was leaving for the summer. But when I had got my period, I was bleeding like normal, like regular. So during the summer, I had went to Arizona with my grandma, and I had got really sick. Like, I was throwing up every day. I was still like having a period and everything, so I was like, well, I'm not pregnant. I'm probably getting like the flu during the summer. Like, who does that? How does that happen? And I had went, see, like I said, when I'm talking, I get distracted and I don't do what I planned on doing. But anyway, so we had went to the ER because I was throwing up like water. Like, I couldn't even keep down water. And they had asked, like, before they put me on an IV because I was really dehydrated. But they asked, they were like, is it a possibility you're pregnant? Like, are you allergic to anything? Are you, like, do you know if you're sick? I was like, no, that's why I'm here. Like, so they were like, okay, well, we're gonna do some blood tests and we're going to take urine sample. And I was like, okay, like, I have a period, I'm not pregnant. And they took my blood and everything, and then he was like, are you comfortable? I was like, yeah, like, what do you mean? And he was like, okay, I'm just gonna tell you. And I was like, okay, like, am I dying or something? Like, and he was like, sweetie, you're pregnant. And I was just like, what? I was just looking at him like, bruh, like, no. Like, I took a test, and I was like, I still have a period. I took a test like a couple months back, and it was like negative. And obviously because I still have my period. And he was like, waiting on my blood results, because that they had dipped that off my urine. And we were waiting on my blood results while I was still on the IV. And those IVs, bro, they make you cold. Like, I was laying there like, I don't know if it was because I was scared, like I was about to get killed or something, or if it was actually making me cold. So then he came back with the blood results, and he told me, he was like, did you know that your blood type's O negative? I was like, no. And then he was like, that could be why you're bleeding. Like, your body is rejecting the baby, so we have to give you the Grwm shot. And I was like, okay. And I thought they were gonna put it in my arm or in my IV. No, bro, they made me pull down my pants and they gave me a shot in my butt. So I got the shot in my butt. My grandma that lives out there, she was sitting there, but she wasn't like, she was actually like excited. And I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like, I have to tell the dad, I have to tell my mom, I have to tell the whole damn world. Like, I was just like, what am I gonna do? And my grandma's like, oh, baby. I'm just looking at her like, I just turned 17. Okay. Weird flex, but okay. No. Hold on, let me spray this. Ooh, I almost drowned. Whew. I always put this on first so it has time to sit into my skin, because usually when I put on my foundation right after this, it like blends and it makes my foundation like not, it doesn't make my, it doesn't let like set my foundation right, like it makes it has streaks. So we're going to do my eyeshadow right now. Where's my brush? Okay, so then, oh my god, the neighbor's coming down. But okay, so yeah, my grandma was really excited, and then I told her not to tell anyone. Like, I told her, don't tell like any of our family out there until I told my mom, because me and my mom are like this, and I didn't want someone else saying, oh, congratulations, you're a grandma, and her not knowing yet, because I had to figure out how to tell her, especially with me being in Arizona and we live in California. So I was like, how am I gonna tell my mom? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, how's she gonna react? At first I was just gonna call her and tell her, but that was not gonna work because I knew she was gonna yell at me. So I had texted her. Yeah, I don't know why I texted her. That was a shitty move. But I texted her, and I just sent her a little ultrasound they did, because they did a transvaginal ultrasound to see if there was a heartbeat and everything, because I was bleeding. So they said it could have been a miscarriage, but my HCG levels were too high for it to be a miscarriage. So they did the ultrasound, and it was like a little bitty blob. Like, literally, it was nothing. Like, he was nothing then. Like, he was just a little bitty blob. So I sent that to my mom, and I was like, I didn't keep the conversation. Like, right after I sent it, I deleted the conversation because I was so scared. Like, I was terrified. And I told her, I was like, I know you're gonna be so disappointed in me, and I'm sorry that this is what it is, but I've met you. I've been straight up with you. Our relationship has grown, so I'm gonna be straight up with you now. Like, I don't want you to find out from anyone else. I want you to find out from me, because I don't want this to ruin our relationship. Like, you know, because me and my mom, we never really had, like, we weren't talking, like, we literally wouldn't even talk to each other like that. Like, it was always just me and my grandma. Like, my grandma's my G, bro. Like, but now it's like me, my mom, and my grandma. But you get the point. So I had told her, and tell me why. This woman cussed me out. She cussed me out, bro. And she kept trying to call me, and I just kept declining her calls after I got that first message of cuss words. I was like, nope, you know what? I'm not answering the phone, because I know I was going to get irritated and hang up on her. And so I didn't answer the phone. And then she started texting me more paragraphs, cussing me out, and I didn't reply to her, because I wanted to give her time to cool off. I didn't want to sit there and argue with her and everything. And I'm gonna be straight up and blunt about how everything went down. Like, dead ass, my mom was telling me, I want you to get an abortion. Like, I don't want you to be a teen mom. I want you to have better things. I want you to be better. Like, I wanted more for you. And I was like, you can still want more for me. I can still have more. I just have to grow up. I have to get myself together. I have to be better. Like, I have to. Like, I have no choice now. Like, I obviously wanted more for myself, like, before I even got pregnant. But now it was like time. Like, I'm on a limit, because I have to do what I have to do before my son gets here. I have to, you know, like, basically just do my shit. Like, get it together. So after she cussed me out, like, for the 100th time, I didn't text her back. And then 2 hours later, she texted me, because the hospital called her, because I put her down as my emergency contact. And I was like not answering my phone for anyone, and didn't realize that the hospital was calling me to let me know that I needed to make an appointment as soon as possible with an OB. So I was like not answering my phone. I had it on do not disturb, and she had texted me saying that the hospital called her and told her that I was at risk of losing the baby if I didn't go pick up like this prescription that they needed me to take, and if I hadn't got the shot when I got it. And that really scared me. Like, I had barely found out, and I didn't really have an attachment. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, like I'm gonna be a mommy, like, you know. I just was like scared, like, you know. So then I had went to go pick up these pills that they gave me, and the bleeding had stopped, and I was so relieved when the bleeding stopped. Like obviously I was still scared, but I was like happy that I wasn't about to lose my child. Like it was just like a whole thing. So me and my son's dad, we were having problems, like, so I didn't even want to tell him. Like literally I told him, and I think he thought I was joking, or he think, like, I don't know what he was thinking, but he didn't believe it until my mom told him. And what did I just do? Who am I? Okay, so my mom did tell him after I sent him this. I had sent him the ultrasound that I sent my mom, and he obviously was just like, what is that? Like, because at first I was like, what is that? Like, that does not look like a baby. And because they were telling me that I was like 9 weeks when I had went in, or something like that. I don't remember measurement that he was at that time, because it was so hectic. Like there was so much going on. I was stressing, I was crying, I was going through a lot. Let's just say that. So basically I had told my mom through text, and then my mom told my grandma. So I didn't even get the opportunity to tell my grandma, which was very devastating for me, because me and my grandma, like I said, that's my dog, like that's my G. And I didn't even get the opportunity to tell her. Like my mom told her. So I was really like mad, but I couldn't really be mad just because I just told them that we're finna bring a new member into the family. So after 2 hours of being mad at me, like literally it was 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours. It was like 2-3 hours. My mom texted me, and she was like really concerned, and she was just telling me that she wanted better for me and this and that. And then she was like, if you want to keep this baby, then I support you and I'll be here for you and everything. But you do have to understand that a baby isn't a toy, and that it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be easy, because you're a teen, and like you don't know for sure if the dad's gonna stay around. Like, you know, obviously giving me the talk, because, you know, there's like a lot of teen fathers that don't stick around. And honestly, I didn't even want to tell him, because that was my fear. I was like, how am I even gonna tell him? Like, whatever. He's involved now. We're just like, we're cool. Like, we're on common grounds. That's how my mom and my grandma found out. My dad was never really like a big factor in my life, so I really didn't care how he found out. Obviously he was gonna find out. That's how I found out. That's how they found out. I'm currently 34 weeks pregnant. So he's gonna be a January baby. I'm pretty sure it was July. So I came home, and me and my son's father was still not talking. Like, we were still not talking. We had each other blocked on everything. Obviously, we're still kids, so we're still very immature. We didn't start back talking until September. So we were still not talking. His mom was always checking up on me though, so I would keep them like informed with my ultrasounds and my appointments and everything. So yeah, so that was really it with him finding out. At the end of the day, I'm very blessed, and I'm very excited to meet my son. This is why I'm making this, because I want people to know, like young teens, young teen dads, to know that it's okay. Like, there's time to grow, there's time to change, there's time for things to get better. Honestly, myself, I felt alone watching everyone else's like stories on it, because everyone else, like, they had really supportive parents. But yeah, everyone else had better like outcomes with their parents. I just want you teen moms and you teen parents in general to know, like, everything gets better. Like, you have to give yourself time to cope, and you have to give yourself time to understand what's actually happening around you. You can't have something happen and expect to automatically know what to do or automatically know how to be okay with it or be okay in general, because it's okay not to be okay. Like, it's okay to fall apart. It's okay to question what you want to do, question yourself, like, because sometimes you need to question yourself, like, girl, what you doing? Like, you know, question yourself sometimes. And sometimes the best person you can talk to is yourself. That's how I feel, because sometimes myself be giving myself some good advice. Like, I'd be like, ooh, girl, no friend would have told me that. It's not the end of the world. Having a baby young is not the end of the world, but you need to know that you're willing to do everything for that baby. But honestly, I think all babies are blessings. Like, they're blessings in disguise. Like, I've grown so much. I'm so proud of the person and the woman that I'm becoming. I'm so excited now. Like, I feel so blessed. That was my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for all the sidetrack. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye, guys.
Lately, the way he's on my mind, I swear it's crazy. I mean, we